Cody Rhodes makes a massive blunder on WWE Raw. Paul Heyman leaves Roman Reigns for CM Punk. Hendry's next WWE appearance officially announced. Dominik Mysterio hates CM Punk. Jey Uso breaks silence on his embarrassing botch on WWE Raw. A top WWE executive is ready to fire Logan Paul. John Cena sends a cryptic message ahead of SmackDown. Next step for John Cena after his confrontation with Cody Rhodes. Paul Heyman makes a bold statement ahead of Roman Reigns' SmackDown return. Let's dive right in. Paul Heyman leaves Roman Reigns for CM Punk. This week's episode of WWE SmackDown is going to be an interesting show for the blue brand. The upcoming show is set to take place in Unipol Arena, Bologna, Italy. WWE is in the midst of its European tour, with its weekly shows going live from different countries. WWE Raw this week was live from Brussels, Belgium, and next week's shows live from the UK. As of now, the Stamford-based promotion has announced some major segments and matches for the show in Italy. Let's discuss things that could happen on SmackDown this week. Number 1. Aleister Black might return to WWE. Last week on SmackDown, WWE dropped a cryptic teaser that leads to the belief that Aleister Black is returning soon back to the Stamford-based promotion. However, as we are now just a month away from WrestleMania 41, Black could show up on SmackDown this week. The former AEW star could engage in a quick match and later build on a feud for the Showcase of the Immortals. Number 2. Jey Uso might turn heel and pursue the United States Championship. Jey Uso already declared his intention ahead of WrestleMania 41, as Big Jim wanted a title shot for the United States Championship. The title is, of course, on the shoulders of LA Knight. So, one of the potential things fans could see on this week's SmackDown is the heel turn of the Samoan twin. Jimmy could turn heel and eventually set his sights on the US title. Even if the OG Bloodline member doesn't turn heel, he could attack the megastar to set up a match against him at WrestleMania 41 for the gold. Number 3. Nick Aldis might ban Dominik Mysterio from Liv Morgan's match. Jade Cargill and Liv Morgan are all set to settle their scores in the squared circle on this week's SmackDown. This match was announced last week when the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion interrupted the storm during her interview. Meanwhile, Dominik Mysterio's interference always plays a crucial role in Liv Morgan's matches. As a result of this, Nick Aldis could decide to ban the Judgment Day member from ringside. This helps the National Treasure to ensure that the match will have a clean ending on the Blue Brand show. Number 4. Braun Strowman could be written off television. With each passing week, Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu's rivalry continues to intensify on the Friday night show. Even last week, they were engaged in a heated post-match brawl. On this week's show, fans could see the monster among men getting written off television. It's possible that the Samoan werewolf could destroy Strowman, leading to Braun getting written off TV. Later, the former Universal Champion will return and take vengeance against Fatu. Number 5. Paul Heyman might leave Roman Reigns for CM Punk on SmackDown. In the forthcoming episode of WWE SmackDown, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins are anticipated to engage in a face-to-face segment. The Visionary declared his SmackDown presence on Raw this week, stating that he was coming after both stars. However, this segment will raise a big problem for Paul Heyman, who currently has good relations with both the OTC and the best in the world. In a surprise twist, fans could see the Wiseman leaving the original tribal chief for the Second City Saint. It's possible that CM Punk could use his favor to have the special counsel on his side. This move from Punk will certainly make Roman Reigns think twice ahead of their potential WrestleMania showdown. Hendry's next WWE appearance officially announced. Hendry recently took to social media to announce his next WWE appearance. He is set to return to the company very soon. The TNA World Champion was last seen at the Royal Rumble event last month. He was the 15th entrant in the 30-man match and was eliminated by Roman Reigns. He showed up at the event with his title. The global hero also made multiple appearances in NXT, where he wrestled a few times. Hendry recently confirmed on his Instagram that he will appear at WWE World at WrestleMania. He will appear alongside many legends and stars from Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Hendry will appear at WWE World at WrestleMania limited tickets, he wrote. John Cena recently turned heel, and this is his final year as an in-ring competitor. Many wrestlers, including the TNA World Champion, have expressed interest in sharing the ring with him. Tyler Breeze revealed in an interview with Jamal Niaz of Monopoly Events that many WWE fans would love to see a match between the two stars. I mean, knowing John, he's not above that, wrestling in TNA. He very much has his finger on the pulse. I've seen Joe talk a little bit about him and John Cena, which I think people would love. I think people would be really into, and I think they would have fun with that. I think John would have fun with it. I think Joe would have fun with that. I could see something like that, said Breeze. The Cenation leader returned to Raw in Brussels, Belgium this week, and he was jeered by the crowd. His next match will be at WrestleMania 41, and it'll be interesting to see whether he emerges victorious. Dominik Mysterio hates CM Punk. A WWE star may be in trouble after his issues with CM Punk. He admitted to not liking him at all. Punk and Dominik Mysterio have taken shots at each other on several occasions, even recently. Speaking on treasure hunting with Moses the Jeweler, Dominik said that he knew that his opinion would get him into trouble. The 27-year-old said he needed someone there to keep him in line, but that did not stop him from continuing his opinion of Punk. Mysterio said that the star was old and beat up, and that he was just not capable of doing it in the ring anymore. He implied that the star was done and should call it quits. Mysterio and Punk have been arguing frequently on social media recently, and this was only the latest blow in their ongoing feud. At this time, it is uncertain where this will end up. I don't like CM Punk. He's old and beat up. If I keep going, I'll get in trouble because I don't like CM Punk. I got someone over here to keep me in line. If I say anything out of line, I'm gonna get in trouble right here. But FCM Punk, Mysterio said. On another occasion, Mysterio put a story on his Instagram saying that Punk was a washed old F. Currently, Dominik appears to be angling towards a run for the Intercontinental Championship, even though that is the belt that Finn Balor is also interested in. Meanwhile, Punk is in a feud with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, as they all head toward WrestleMania. However, with all the shots, it seems that the two are preparing for a feud in the future, where they face each other. For now, the two have stories of their own that they need to focus on. However, the next Raw should prove interesting, as Punk will be there. It remains to be seen if Mysterio gets into trouble for his comments. Jey Uso breaks silence on his embarrassing botch on WWE Raw. Fans have been rallying behind Jey Uso in his quest to fulfill his prophecy at WrestleMania 41 and become the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. However, the Yeet Master has been facing a massive backlash lately. He recently addressed the situation on his social media. Despite winning the Royal Rumble this year, Jey Uso's path to WrestleMania 41 isn't easy, as A-Town Down Under has put insurmountable obstacles in front of him. During the latest episode of Raw, the OG Bloodline member made quick work of Austin Theory, squashing him in less than 30 seconds. Midway through the match, Jey Uso botched a top rope dive, similar to Top Dolla's. The spot caused a massive stir on social media, with some fans throwing shade at one half of the Usos. Earlier today, Jey Uso took to his Instagram stories to break his silence on the embarrassing botch. He shared the screen grab of the angle and said athletes often screw up. Jey also vowed to hit this move again next Monday. Okay, look, sometimes players F up. I'ma hit this front flip next Monday, though I know dat. Yeet, he wrote. Jey Uso will look to continue his winning ways when he takes on A-Town Down Under in a tag team match on Raw in Scotland next week. The Yeet Master will join forces with a mystery partner. Hendry and Baron Corbin have offered to help Jey Uso next week. The WWE Universe is under the belief the mystery partner could be none other than his twin brother, Jimmy Uso. Big Jim was confronted by Gunther backstage on SmackDown last week, leaving fans wondering if he will get involved in Jey's storyline ahead of WrestleMania 41. Will the Usos reunite one more time? Only time will tell. A top WWE executive is ready to fire Logan Paul. A top WWE executive made it clear that he was ready to fire Logan Paul. This came after an interesting request from the latter. The former United States champion filmed himself backstage at WWE Raw and posted the vlog on his YouTube channel. In it, Logan Paul requested Bruce Pritchard fire him, saying that if WWE ever did, the latter should do it. Pritchard is a WWE executive director and also works in the creative department with Triple H. As a result, he has interacted with Paul frequently. If they do ever fire me, please can you do it? Because I would not even be mad, Paul asked. Pritchard responded, he would not only be happy to fire Logan Paul, but would insist on doing so. He was more than ready to say the words and even mock-fired Paul to show him how it would go. I'd be happy to. And you know what? Actually, I would insist on it. Logan, you really disappointed me, but you're a good kid, and I think you're gonna be all right. Good luck. That wasn't real. That wasn't real, Pritchard said. Paul was left worrying about what they had just manifested. He also said that Pritchard's words felt all too real. John Cena sends a cryptic message ahead of SmackDown. WWE legend John Cena recently shared a cryptic post via Instagram. Cena's post comes before Friday's episode of SmackDown, and after the 16-time world champion made a blockbuster appearance on this week's episode of Raw in Brussels, Belgium. This week on Raw, John Cena appeared for the first time since turning heel at Elimination Chamber 2025. Cena, 47, went on a rant against the WWE Universe which earned him loud boos from the crowd. While Cody Rhodes interrupted Cena's promo, the latter didn't have anything to say to Rhodes. After staying silent in front of the American Nightmare, Cena uploaded an image of Leonardo DiCaprio on Instagram. This image, uploaded by the babyface turned heel, was from DiCaprio's famous movie, Wolf of Wall Street. After their much-awaited but one-sided confrontation on Raw this week, Cena and Rhodes will share the ring again when the Red Brand goes to Glasgow, Scotland next week. In this upcoming outing, fans will expect Cena to speak to Rhodes face-to-face. While there will be many other expectations from this segment, an ex-WWE champion explained what must happen between the two superstars. The ex-WWE star in question is Big E. During an episode of Raw Recap, he said, "Yeah, man, it's two masters of the mic. Two guys who know themselves through and through. It's this new version of John Cena. Again, that's not the only layer. I know there is another layer of Cena that needs to be peeled back. So, I can't wait for Monday." Rhodes and Cena are scheduled to face each other at WrestleMania 41. While Rhodes will look to defend his undisputed WWE Championship at the Show of Shows, Cena will be hunting for his 17th World Championship. Next step for John Cena after his confrontation with Cody Rhodes, John Cena is set to appear on WWE Raw next week after his confrontation with Cody last Monday on the Red Brand. Wrestling veteran Magnum TA recently predicted what the franchise player could do next. The 16-time world champion returned to Raw last Monday after turning heel earlier this month at Elimination Chamber. The 47-year-old told the fans he was breaking up with them, accusing them of abusing him for over 2 decades. He was then confronted by his WrestleMania opponent, undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare told the franchise player that he wanted to face the old John Cena at WrestleMania, not a whiny bee. On the Straight Talk with the Boss podcast, Magnum TA claimed that the 16-time world champion must prove to Rhodes that he is still the ferocious John Cena of the past, suggesting that the franchise player get in the ring and demonstrate that to his opponent by destroying another superstar. That's why I was talking about he needs to work, because I think the next thing he needs to be, because Cody was basically dishing the fact that he's just become a, whining whiner and that he's not the ferocious John Cena of the past. And I think he would want to say, you think I missed a step? I'm going to show you exactly where I'm at. And by the way, I got a dance card with so-and-so tonight, and you're going to see who you're getting in the ring with in WrestleMania. Something like that, he said. Former WWE employee Tommy Carlucci reviewed John Cena's promo and confrontation with Cody Rhodes on Raw on the Behind the Turnbuckle The Last Word podcast. The former floor manager, who spent over 30 years in the Stamford-based company, claimed the two WWE superstars must not get physical until their clash at the Show of Shows. "They should never touch, coach. These guys should not have official altercation, anything going on, not until WrestleMania. That story has to be told. They should not have physicality at all every time they go one-on-one," he said. Paul Heyman makes a bold statement ahead of Roman Reigns' SmackDown return. Paul Heyman recently took to social media to issue a bold statement ahead of Roman Reigns' SmackDown return. Both men are on the cover of the WWE 2K25 video game. The Tribal Chief made a surprise appearance on Raw last week and attacked Seth Rollins and CM Punk in the main event of the show. The two stars were competing in a steel cage match, and the Visionary was declared the winner after he was dragged out of the cage by his longtime rival. The OTC has been advertised for this week's episode of the Blue Brand, and the Second City Saint will also be there. Paul Heyman shared an image on X announcing that WWE 2K25 is the highest-rated Xbox title in the franchise's history. The Wiseman wrote that with Roman Reigns on the cover and him as the actual in-game host of the entire experience, it's difficult not to be the best game ever. Your Tribal Chief on the box cover art, your Wiseman is the actual in-game host of the entire WWE 2K25 experience. How could this not be the best game ever, he wrote. The OTC and the Wiseman have been working together for a few years now. However, Paul Heyman was CM Punk's client first, and they still share a special bond. Speaking on his Not Some Wrestling podcast, Sam Roberts explained how the voice of the voiceless could ruin Roman Reigns and Paul's relationship because of the favor. "That's why I worry that the favor could be CM Punk, saying that he gets Paul Heyman in his corner whenever he wants it for one match. And if that match is a triple threat at WrestleMania between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, that could be very, very damaging to the relationship between Roman and Paul Heyman," said Roberts. Cody Rhodes makes a massive blunder on WWE Raw. WWE superstar Cody Rhodes made a massive mistake on the latest edition of Monday Night Raw, believes wrestling veteran Vince Russo. The American Nightmare came face-to-face with John Cena on the Red Brand show. After John Cena turned heel and obliterated Cody Rhodes alongside The Rock, he finally came face-to-face with the American Nightmare on this week's Raw. Cena first addressed the crowd, blaming them for his character change. The 16-time world champion also broke several hearts by saying that he was breaking up with the WWE Universe, as anything he did was never enough for them. The undisputed WWE champion called out Cena for complaining and asked him to bring back the version of himself that fans looked up to. Much to everyone's surprise, Rhodes did not attack the 16-time world champion, despite what the latter did to him at Elimination Chamber. During a recent edition of Vince Russo's The Brand podcast, the former WWE writer compared Cody Rhodes to Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Attitude Era, saying that he believed if someone had attacked the Texas Rattlesnake, he would have reacted differently compared to Rhodes. Then people always say to me, "Oh, the Attitude Era was overrated." You know what, bro? Imagine that happening to Austin. Imagine somebody kicking Austin in the balls, beating him with a strap, busting him open, punching him in the head, puncturing an eardrum, and Austin coming out there the first time he sees the guy and doing nothing. Imagine that, bro, he said. Vince Russo also highlighted the American Nightmare's big mistake, saying that the latter should have attacked John Cena in the parking lot itself, instead of just calling him out for complaining in front of fans. Freaking Cody Rhodes should have been waiting at that back door with a baseball bat when that car pulls up. He should have been beating the shy out of the windshield, the headlights, the hood, the entire car, dragging Cena out of the car. But that's your comeback? You're a whiny bee. Who's the botch, bro? He kicked you in the balls and you didn't do nothing, he added. During a recent edition of the Behind the Turnbuckle, the Last Word podcast, Tommy Carlucci said he did not want to see any type of physical altercation between Cody Rhodes and John Cena ahead of their clash at WWE WrestleMania 41. They should never touch, coach. These guys should not have official altercation, anything going on, not until WrestleMania. That story has to be told. They should not have physicality at all every time they go one-on-one, he said.